eaten and made a lot of soup since coming to Dublin, partly because it's cheap, and then also because it's so cold in this country, and then I miss school. So, the first soup I ever made was actually by accident. I was just boiling some lentils, and then I decided that I wasn't going to drain the water, and so I just started adding vegetables. I didn't have any vegetable stock at that point, so I just added a lot of salt and pepper and garlic powder in the hopes that it would actually taste good. And it was pretty bland, the first bowl, but then as I let it sit in the fridge, it actually, like as soup does, the flavor started to settle, and the second bowl and the third bowl were progressively better. And then I eventually did get vegetable stock and started making proper soup. But what I like about that idea is, like, as the flavors are settling, like, I feel like at Gaiety, like, the flavors are just starting to settle, and, like, I'm having to, like, leave at the end of, you know, in the week and a half, and so, and I'm sure, like, there are some flavors that I'm not going to get until, like, next semester when, you know, I'm in a communication class, or in a logic class, or going for a run, and it will, like, the penny will drop at that point. It's like, oh, I get what they were saying now. And I'm sad, like, I won't be able to be here with you guys. Like, I wish that I could continue on the course and, like, be there for when those light bulb moments happen. But anyway, so my piece today, so soup. I don't know if any of you are familiar with the story of stone soup, but basically there are a lot of different versions. The first written account was actually, like, written down in 1720 by this French woman named Madame de Noyer, and so she was a French journalist, but it's not really known if it was a tale before that passed orally. But anyway, so in any version of the story, there's usually this tricky traveler that comes in, and he's hungry, and no one will give him food, and so he just gets a big pot, and he fills it with water, and puts a stone in it, and he boils the water, and the villagers start coming over, and they say, "What are you making?" And he's like, "Oh, I'm making stone soup." And they ask, "Well, is it good?" And he's like, "Yes, especially with some carrots." And he's like, "But I don't have any carrots." And then the villager says, "Oh, well, I have some carrots." And the villager goes and brings the carrots. And then someone else comes, and they say, "Oh, what are you making?" He says, "I'm making stone soup." "Is it good?" "Yes, especially with some salt beef." "But I don't have any salt beef." "Well, I have some salt beef." And so it goes on like that, and eventually all these villagers are tricked into contributing to this soup. And then they all share in the meal, though, so they end up having a communal meal. Now, all of you, you didn't, I didn't trick you into distinctly asked and pestered you for ingredients. And thank you so much to those of you who did, and those of you who tried, and I know that there was, there's a lot going on this week. But basically, I took all those ingredients and I made them into soup. So there's one of them has beef broth and noodles and potatoes and carrots and celery and parsley. And so that's, then there's a strictly vegetarian one. And so that one has garlic and peas and rice and lentils and tomatoes and mushrooms and good stuff like that. So anyway, what I like though about the idea of stone soup is that I feel like it reminds me of like the ability of the trickster to be able to look into the pot and to say, oh, like to see the possibilities of what the soup can be when you really have nothing. I feel like it kind of speaks to like what we do as actors and like as theater artists, and when you look at a blank stage and you say, what can I make with this stage? And then with the contributions of all the different artists and the designers and actors and technical directors and all of that, you make something really nourishing. So in a moment, I'm going to ask you all to come up and get some soup, which I meant to be ladling this as I was talking, but I used my hands too much. Anyway, in addition to that, I also, this weekend I went to Galway with Sarah, and Sarah headed out to Mayo on Sunday, and so I was just on my own in Galway for the afternoon, and I walked and I found a beach, and I loved the beach, and it was the first time I really walked along one since I'd been here, and I collected 40 little stones, and then I wrote stone soup on them. And so when you come up and get your soup, if you also take a stone, and I guess the idea is that just a reminder that theater you don't need much to start a show. You just need the stone, and then depending on who you have around you, that's going to make it into something really nourishing. So, kinds of pasta. In addition to Ash, who didn't bring in anything yesterday, but was like, I have a little bit of like my pasta and like tomato sauce. Can I throw that in there? So she added that in like 10 minutes ago. And so it's the extra spice in there. But this one has the pasta, carrots, potatoes, celery, shallots, parsley, salt, pepper. And then this one is the vegetarian one, and it has vegetable stock, and then peas, lentils, rice, mushrooms, tomatoes, carrots, and garlic.
Is there onions anywhere?
Onions in this one.
Good,
Shallots. Yes. Okay.
You don't like onions.
So yeah, and if you have any allergies, I mean, like, I was using the same cutting board because it was all vegetables and stuff, so just I'd be careful that I can't promise there's no cross-contamination. So, anyway.